Well, today is Wednesday. Yes, it is. August 11th, and it's time for Ask Us Anything. So once again, thank you for the questions. Jimmy's an open book. He'll answer any question.
Anything.
He doesn't have any problem.
Nope.
Neither do I. And we really don't have an edit button.
No, we don't.
Good or bad, that's the way it goes. So let's start off with Bobby Hart wants you to name, or both of us, to name our 3 favorite movies.
Ooh.
Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. I would say it's hard to pick, man. That's like picking your favorite kid.
That's true, but I came up with my 3. My favorite movie is To Kill a Mockingbird,
Walter.
Finding Nemo, and
Finding Nemo.
oh, I love, for a clownfish, he's not very funny. And Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is on there for me. That's. Oh, Wedding Crashers has got to go on there.
That's a good one too.
And
Yeah, we can do that.
I know as soon as I pick them, I'm going to be driving and be like, oh, why didn't I say that one?
Okay, I'll see you next week. Then.
I would say
There you go.
Airplane.
Okay.
It's a good one too. That's not one I watched over and over, but that one's not too bad. Don't call me Shirley.
Exactly. My favorite one is, we have to get this man to a hospital. A hospital, what is it? It's a large building with lots of windows, but that's not important right now.
We do say a lot of movie lines.
Yes.
And the next question, Bobby.
I knew you.
I knew you. That's another good one. Those aren't pillows.
No, it's like, I am so sorry. I didn't know that was your cab.
Oh, don't get us started.
With the book, well.
No, the Chatty Cathy.
Oh, yes.
That's another one. Anyway.
Or no, last one.
Okay.
It's my favorite one. Where it's like, do you have any credit cards? No. Just a Tom's Big and Tall. It's good in 13 locations, but it does us no good here.
I have a shiny new Timex.
Yes. No, it's a Casio.
Oh, Casio. It's a Casio. Okay.
Oh, they got us going now.
Got us going now. Have you ever rode on a passenger train?
I have never. The only train I've ever been on is like the train at the zoo.
Oh, how boring. I used to go on the train with my dad to go to Boston to see my grandmother.
Roll your jacket up.
Roll my jacket up because it costs a nickel to rent a pillow. And my dad would say, give me your jacket. And he'd roll it up and he'd go, there's your pillow. He never would pay for the nickel. And then one time Jim and I went to Toronto on the train with our bowling league. That's where Danny was conceived, was in Canada.
Weird. So he's foreign.
He's foreign. He's Canadian. Have you ever eaten, to give us a list of things, have you ever eaten raw oysters?
Nope.
Nope. Liverwurst?
Oh, nope.
No. That was my mother's favorite. Cow brains or tongue?
Nope.
No. I see that in the deli case, and I'm thinking, who would buy that? Chicken livers or gizzards?
Nope.
Now, you probably had gizzards and didn't really realize it because Grandma Mambo put those, and my mother did too, isn't that what it is, Jim? The gizzards that they put in the stuffing?
The gizzard, the heart, all that
stuff. Grandma used to put that in her stuffing too. So you did eat it, but we just did, not deliberately.
Deceived me.
So if somebody ever said, have you ever had gizzards? You should just say, both my grandmothers used to put it in stuffing when I was a child and I didn't know. And the last question Bobby Hart wanted, and she was going to be surprised by this answer for me, but have you ever participated in vandalism?
No.
No. You
No.
never have?
No.
Just Danny?
Just Danny.
You never have?
I've done a lot of things wrong, but I have never vandalized anything.
Well, the only thing I could say on the vandalized part is that one year with Sandy Kuzmak that lived next door with us, we went and we gathered up like about 50 to 75 pumpkins and we put them on one person's house. We lit them all up. I don't know if that is kind of vandalism because then they had to clean up all them pumpkins.
That is true, yes.
So we lit all the pumpkins and rang the doorbell and ran away. And then like on Devil's Night, we used to ring the doorbell.
No.
You didn't do that on Devil's Night.
I wasn't allowed out on Devil's Night.
the ladder seemed to be outside the window on Devil's Night every year.
Well, I had better things to do than trash people's stuff. I had my own fun.
I guess.
He has better things to do than to be bad.
Exactly.
Do you often get tornadoes where you live? And where does Jimmy like to go for vacations? Because Jimmy doesn't go to the cottage.
No, I don't go to the cottage. I go on cruises.
They haven't been on one in a long time.
Well, with COVID, I
Yeah.
couldn't. But we try to go on at least one cruise every year.
We
It
get-
doesn't matter where, as long as it's warm and it's a 7-night. Actually, we got one. She got because believe it or not, I used to think it was bull, but the more you go, the better discounts you get. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because
that's
we've
true.
been on like 6 of them. So like the last one that they sent Samantha it was for
And I didn't get not one souvenir from not one of those cruises.
you most certainly did. It's hanging right there.
Oh, that's right. I got that one, that little once out of 6.
But they sent Samantha one. It was a 5-night cruise. I forgot where for $250, and then she checked the airfare, and it would have ended up costing us for a 5-night cruise and the airfare and a hotel staying the night before. It would have ended up costing us $900 for both of us.
Oh, not
But
bad.
it's right in the middle of building the house, so it's like
Yeah.
can't do it.
And Jimmy gets more tornadoes by him because he's more in
In
a
the country.
country-like setting
Yeah.
than us. But we get tornado warnings,
Well, we had the tornado.
and he did have the tornado hit a couple weeks ago.
literally behind us, the
Yeah.
block behind us. Not kidding, tore all the houses apart.
True. But you
So
lucked
we
out.
got lucky.
Yes. Would you please answer that, Jim? Mosca, M-O-S-C-A, frog lover, wants to know how old you were when you started driving without the license. We all know when you got the license.
I want to say I was.
Yes, but her
15.
and your brother are
Yeah,
doing
15.
their internet thing.
I was 16. My Aunt Rose brought me, and I didn't want to go. My mother. It was the last day of my permit, and my mother told me I had to go. So I was 16, and I never really liked.
But I
driving.
drove from 15 to 18
Yeah, without a license.
without it.
Yeah.
That tells you how good a driver I am. I was never pulled over in them 3 years. So that should prove something.
I guess. Would the two of us ever do a cooking segment together?
Yeah, we can cook some eggs.
No, I could make my omelet that looks like crap, and he could make his fried eggs that look like crap. That'd be about it. I don't think we'd do well cooking together.
Probably not.
No. But if you could, what would you make? Eggs.
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 Yeah.
Your best childhood memory?
Best childhood memory. I could probably, it's up, there's a lot of them, but I remember asking you for a brand new mongoose bike. I said, I'll get all the good grades, and you buy it, and you're like, nope, not buying it. And then Grandpa went, hey, go in the basement, there's something down there.
And you bought them.
Bam, mongoose bike.
That's the beauty of being a grandparent. You can do whatever you want.
Yep.
My best childhood memory would be... Oh, I mentioned this in my other video. It's like when my Uncle Warren used to bring us up to the Cadillac Hotel in Lexington, Michigan, and he'd slam his hand on the bar and he'd say, barkeep beers for my whole lot, my whole gang here. And then we'd get root beers and we would think we were getting drunk. I was 8. That's my excuse. What was the most embarrassing moment that ever happened, and how old were you when it happened?
Don't have one. I don't get embarrassed. Even as a child.
Your mother never embarrassed you?
Well, the Secretary of State. That was
See?
yeah.
I knew.
I'd pick that one.
We stood in that line for almost an hour, and then we get up there and you needed 2, or was it 3%?
three forms of ID to prove that it was
Identity.
me.
And so I said, well, give me a little ticket to get back in line. And they go, no, you're going to have to get back in line. I go, oh, we're not getting back in line. So we went home because he's got the same name as his dad. We got the electric bill, the water bill, and the phone bill. And we came back and we walked right to the front of the line, and somebody says, you can't go up there. And I go, we already were here.
With me with my head down, like, oh, let's get out of
And we got
here.
waited on. I wasn't going to wait another hour in that line. That was ridiculous. My most embarrassing moment was when I had a convulsion in my class.
Yeah,
That was embarrassing, because then when you wake up and everybody's looking at you, you're laying on the floor and you were like, you can only imagine what you look like, and then you have everybody looking at you, and then they never look at you the same after
Right.
that.
Yeah.
So, where were you when it happened? I was at school. Sandy, what's the oldest clock you own? I'll put a little clip right here. It's the oldest, my very first clock that Jim got me when we were first married. So here's a little clip. Okay, that is my very first clock that Jim bought me for Christmas in 1971. Yeah. And this is my oldest clock, and I got that in Christmas of 1971, which is now Danny's clock.
Danny's clock.
Which
Yes.
is Danny's clock. My kids have all picked their clocks.
Yeah.
So-
And mine is for certainly not the Paul McCartney clock.
No, that was Danny's.
Yeah, he can take that one.
Danny's getting that one.
I love the Beatles, but not singing to me
Well,
every
no, you
15
can-
minutes.
But you can there's like 6 different settings
Yeah.
that you could have put it on. I just like the Beatles, the one the best. Christy's got the grandfather clock, and you have the mantle clock.
Yes.
So there. Joanna Piduch, Piduch, wants to know, do I write everything in a book? I use this as I got this from Bee's Journey. I keep my food in here. And then I also keep an app, the Weight Watchers app. I keep track on the Weight Watchers app. And I get my quotes from weightloss.com on the internet. Okay, Recipes with Roy wants to know, what is the one thing in your life, past or present, that you would change if you could?
Nothing.
Mine would be the way I spend money. I could have had so much more money.
Oh, I take it back. Nope, I do have one.
I could have so much more money if I learned to manage my money at an earlier age. But I always had the philosophy you can't take it with you. So
So she taught me that. Now I'm screwed.
yeah. So I think Danny's the only one
Yeah.
who's really good with
No,
money.
I've gotten better way better with
I've
money
gotten
than-
way better with money
than
now.
I
Since
was.
I retired, I think I'm really good with money.
Right.
But before I retired, no. So I wish I could have got in my past life could have been better at that.
Mine, I would have taken better care of my teeth.
Yes. Had braces the day
Yep,
after they got
were
paid out.
sparkling. You'll have to put the picture of my how
what?
they used to look, the real ones.
I don't know if I have a picture because you never.
Yeah.
You want?
No, the one where I got the white suit and the goatee.
Oh, yeah, okay. I guess. Oh, and Carrie over at Weight Watchers with Carrie just wanted to mention that chickens don't smell. It's the ducks
crap.
smell. No, they don't either. They said you got to use like a pine shavings it depends on the kind of shavings you put in the nest or whatever,
okay.
the hen house or whatever. But she said chickens don't smell unless you use the wrong kind of.
Maybe
think she
that's
said-
what it was. Because our friends have chickens, and every time I've been around, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
God.
I have to check the video. I forget which one, but I think she says it's pine shavings that you use, and she says they don't. But she said ducks do stink.
I'll take her word for it.
You're not gonna have ducks.
I'm not gonna have chickens either.
He's gonna have chickens. He's gonna have chickens. Valerie Reese wants to know what's the most expensive meal you ever ate at a restaurant. And they also, I forget who it was, said that the name of the restaurant you were trying to think of last time was Buca de Beppo.
No, it was. And I even asked Jamie, what was it?
Because he never did send me so I could put the link in. But anyway, you'll come back to that.
Buca de Peppa's good though.
Buca de Beppo? Okay.
It's de Peppa.
De Peppa? So anyway, your most expensive meal at a restaurant.
Most expensive meal at a restaurant would have probably been at that restaurant I was talking about.
Yeah, but he can't think of the name of. Mine.
While on video, you keep talking. I'm gonna.
My most expensive meal would have been like a filet mignon. I love a good filet mignon. But Jim and I don't really go to expensive restaurants. We just go to like Olive Garden and things like that. But this was like a really nice restaurant. We went one year. We got that.
What was the name of the restaurant downtown Detroit that I asked you the other day? Texas de Brazil. Thank you. Bye.
So if you're in Detroit, check
Texas
that out.
de Brazil. And it was It had everything, but it was, I think for me and Samantha, it was like $230 or something like that.
And I forgot to write who it was that asked this question, is what is one of the happiest memories that you gave each other?
Like us?
Like you and I. I would say my happiest memory that I ever gave Jimmy was, that it's a memory that I gave you that you remember, I guess. But I guess that's the way I interpret the question. I would say is like when Jimmy got married to Cindy, he wanted to have a bagpipe player at his wedding, but they couldn't afford it. And so I did check with Cindy because I didn't want to start off being like the mother-in-law from hell that overtook the wedding and did, like everything that was my say. And so I had asked her why she wasn't doing the bagpipe because Jimmy really wanted a bagpipe player. Yes. And she said, we just can't afford it because we had to pay for the organist and we had to pay for the band or the disc jockey and we had to pay for all that. She says, I just don't have the money. And so I said, would you have a problem if Jim and I paid for the bagpipe player, but we don't tell Jimmy? And so she says, no, I don't have a problem with that. So she knew all along that after they got the final blessing, when they turned around, that the bagpipe player was going to be there and played them out of the church. I liked the look on your face when you saw it. It was just, Jim cries at every wedding.
It's like Nathan Lane.
He's terrible. He's like, he won't know the person from Adam, but he's going to cry at their wedding. He just is. He always is. And then once they play like the daddy-daughter dance, he's lost. He's like in a puddle of tears.
Yes.
But I don't cry. I just don't. But when I saw Jimmy, tears were brought to my eye because he just was so happy and so excited. And then they walked him out, and then he played outside while you were doing your greeting line. So I think that's the happiest memory I've ever given Jimmy that maybe he doesn't remember until now. But So what's a memory you gave me that maybe I don't remember? I wish I could remember who asked that question because that's a good question.
I gave you a grandson.
Danny gave me 2. Christy gave me a dog.
But I gave it to you first.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm trying to think. I don't know, just your mantle. Little things. Jimmy does a lot of little things for me. He hasn't fixed the railing outside on my thing, so one of these days I'm going to topple over the side and fall. I gotta topple over the side.
It's loose. It's really
loose.
Well,
no, because they open up Canada now, so Dale, you can come over and move this switch in here and we don't have to worry about it.
Well, I still the railing. When the kids will have to reach over to turn them,
they won't have to. It's going to be in the house.
Well, then the railing going down too is kind of loose.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, that's our Ask Us Anything for this week.
That's it.
So it wasn't less than 20 minutes. We're doing pretty good.
Really?
Well, for us, that's pretty good.
Usually it's like 28 minutes.
I know. So if you have any questions for us,
ask away.
Ask us anything. We'll answer them. Obviously, we don't have an edit button.
Nope.
So if you're new to our channel,
like,
comment,
subscribe,
and share.